Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and I have a brand new release for you guys today. Of course, we're looking at a Legend Reborn. This is the brand new MiniGT Liberty Walk Lamborghini Countach. It's a radical take on one of the most iconic supercars ever made, blending this crazy 1980s wedge-shaped aggression with this new modern wide-body culture. So Liberty Walk has created this car just last year and taken the Countach to a brand new level. And of course now MiniGT has released their 1/64 variant. So I'm very excited, and let's dive in. So starting out with the box, you can see typical MiniGT stuff. Lamborghini Countach LB Works 2024 Tokyo Auto Salon in white. So this car only came out last year, and thankfully I was lucky enough to see it at the Gravity show in the UK, and it is an insane looking car in real life. So I'm really happy that we got one of these so quickly from MiniGT. It is number 966, and on the back it's got the Lamborghini logo, and of course it's officially licensed by Liberty Walk. Little Lambo there and MiniGT. And of course it's not even open, so I am in for a big surprise, just as you are. So I've just cut this cover open a little bit and let's give it a go. So of course the Countach debuted in 1974 with an LP400 and evolved through a whole bunch of variations, and most likely the LP5000 QV Quattro Valvole is the one that this car is based upon. And wow, that is insane. Jeez, look at this thing, that is crazy. Wow, I really love this like 80s simplicity, just these really like squared off lines. It's just so cool. Wow, that is an insane first impression. Jeez, look at this thing. Wow, I am super happy with that. That is so cool. Wow, it feels kind of interesting though. It's very like one piece. I don't know how to explain it. I think it's because it's so square and smooth. Like a lot of cars feel very like fragile sort of to hold with a lot of things, but this is just kind of like, it's like a wedge piece. It's like a piece of cheese. It's so crazy. I love this thing. Oh my god, look at that. Wow, that is so awesome. And of course the Countach is an absolute legend of a car with this wedge-shaped design. It ended up influencing generations of supercars. With this radical wedge shape, you can still see the design DNA in today's Lamborghinis. And of course it had the signature scissor doors, and of course the mid-engine layout, which was made, it was showcased in the Numero, but this ended up continuing that, and then Lamborghini just kind of took that ethos and kind of just continued with it all the way until today. And of course it had this crazy looking 80s styling, this huge rear arches, massive rear wing, and of course these NACA ducts also gave it like a race car sort of vibe. And it was designed by Marcello Gandini from Bertoni, who is one of the most legendary automotive designers in the world. So of course now Liberty Walk has created their own showcase of this car, and they've just added an extra layer of ridiculous insanity to this crazy 80s design. So they are really raising the bar. And Liberty Walk's been playing with a lot of old school supercars as well. Anyway, recently they did the F40, then they did this, and now of course they're doing the Lamborghini Miura, which is the predecessor to this, and that's going to be an insane one to see. I hope it comes out in MiniGT form. But let's check this car out a little bit better. And starting off with the paint quality, you can see it's got really good reflection on the front, especially here, and this front kind of haunch area. It's a very beautiful paint finish. You can see on the roof as well how reflective the car is. It looks to be a little bit like thin on the paint there, but in other sections you can see how nicely the gloss is reflecting the light, even on these massive Liberty Walk wheel arches as well. Just looks really crazy, and you can see the way the light lines hit the side of the car. And man, I am so happy with this. It just looks so crazy. And straight away, just looking at the design, it's got this huge amount of front overhang, and in the rear it's like really like pulled up and very short, and it's just got such a strange looking characteristic. But I really like the fact that it's got this like black and white contrast. It's a cool look for sure. So let's check out the details. So we've got a very simplistic looking roof. Underneath that just says Liberty Walk, and of course we've got this very straight looking windscreen. You can see from the side profile as well that while most cars have like kind of a curved front glass, either that direction or this direction, this is kind of a flat kind of surface. It's got just only a tiny bit of curve, and you can see the way the front of the car drops off in the same line as the roof. It's just such an insane looking thing. And then of course the wipers. Then we come to this front area. So straight away works JDM style, Liberty Walk, and we've got a little Lamborghini logo on the front there as well. And then we've got this number 41 here as well. And you can actually see that we've got the front lights over here, and they're a completely separate element with this clear plastic, and it's got this kind of indicators in there, and it looks so awesome. And of course those parts on the real car is where the lights would actually pop up from. Of course these don't pop up, but it's got a really good shut lines on it, and really great shut lines all over the car, to be honest. Then heading to this crazy, like super straight, look, it's just insane how straight the front of this car is. The bumper, it says Tone, Toyo Tires Tone again, and then there it says Lean Customs. And then here we've got the front intake. So you can see it's actually got two little intakes on the side with these little circular intakes there. And then of course it just says Liberty Walk in the center. And I really love the way that this front area is cut off, with the way this black separates the white, and it gives it a really cool visual look. It really widens the car quite a lot, and you can see the shape of this car. It's almost reminiscent of the Diablo, so you could see where the Diablo has taken its inspiration from, especially in this kind of front, a little bit of an angle profile. You can really see those Lamborghini lines and the heritage of this car coming through. And even with this Liberty Walk body kit, it doesn't take away from the effect. So Liberty Walk's done a really good job at really carrying this DNA and the style of Lamborghini through into this Countach. And heading back to the front, you can see we've got this very cool Liberty Walk wide body kit in the front here, and it just kind of looks like a bolted on piece, so you can actually see the little rivets going around the edge, and the highlights look absolutely incredible on that. And then of course just underneath that we head into these really awesome looking split style rims, finished off in this beautiful high gloss black, and you can see it also says Proxy's Toyo Tires, and they spin around pretty well, so not like a Hot Wheels would, but they do spin around freely, so the car can actually roll. And then we've got a little bit of R logo in there, so that is for Rahana wheels, and you can see it says Rahana just over there as well. And then heading off into the side, we've got this typical wedgy Countach DLO, so extremely squared off. And then you can also see that it's got the little split line for the window. Of course, in real life, this car's windows didn't roll all the way down. It was only from this kind of split line because of the angle of this crazy tumble home. You wouldn't be able to wind the window down to go all the way that distance. So that's pretty crazy. And then we also have these very small rear view mirrors. So it's not exactly your typical style rear view mirror you see on most of these MiniGT cars. This actually has these really tiny ones, and that actually might help to make the car feel a bit less fragile when kind of holding at these kind of angles. Great split line in the door as well. And then of course we come to this massive number 41. It's a really nice and sharp text on the Countach. And this is actually not like a race car number. It is a number that is used by Liberty Walk. They really love this Numero reserve look. So they carried it over to a whole bunch of other cars. They've got it on the RX-7 as well. So here is the RX-7, and you can see this one has number 41 as well. And they usually use these type of numbers on the other cars too. So here we have the Fiat, and this one has number 49. Then there is the F40 and the Mira, which have number 58, I think. And I think the Silvias and Skylines have 23. So a few cars with different numbers. This one gets the number 41. And then of course, this big Liberty Walk logo over there, SLG, and great three-dimensionality in the surfaces, very squared off and very sort of like straight kind of treatments on the surfaces, reflecting this 80s vibe. And then there you've got an air intake, but there's no cutout, or it's not even painted in black or anything like that, but in real life that does actually cut through there. But we do have this very nice black NACA duct on the side, and that's once again not a 3D cutout or anything, but it is at least colored in black here. And then Toyota is Rahana and Sparco. And then we've got this really nice side skirt with a little bit of winglet there, ideal. And then we've got this large rear fender extension. You can see it's got like this kind of like a hexagon sort of shape to it. So it really follows the design trends of the Countach. And of course, in terms of design, this car is very close and similar to the styling cues of the 25th anniversary Countach, which was actually styled by none other than Horatio Pagani of Pagani. So yeah, he used to work at Lambo, and he did the 25th anniversary's kind of look and feel. And you can see these massive intakes over here. This is exactly pretty much like the 25th anniversary. And then we've got these kind of long strakes for the air outlets, once again similar to that 25th anniversary, whereas the previous Countaches were like horizontal. These ones have like a vertical sort of flow to them. And then we've got this, of course, the wheel arch, and you can see that we've got those rivets once again, and you can see some modern cues, so very typical of Liberty Walk. We've got this kind of cut in here as well. And then here, coming to the back, it says Tokyo Custom, and of course we've got the nice rear wheels. And it's very awesome, but this Countach has completely lost its back bumper. So we've got this full-on bumperless look, and this back section just kind of cuts, just kind of tucks under, and the whole back of the car, this white body color, just executes at the top there. And this entire bottom piece is just this kind of free-floating diffuser, which is really crazy. You can see behind the rear wheels there's no diffuser at all. It's just kind of like a free, like a channel for air just to go, you know. It's really, really awesome. And then we've got, of course, this huge diffuser finished off in black, really beautiful contrast to the white. And then just above that, you can actually see that we've got a bit of exhaust details in the back there as well. So you can kind of see this silver color popping through, and just above it, it says Liberty Walk. And we've got this typical quad style exhaust, typical of the Countach. And this entire back mask has this really awesome carbon fiber texture, and it says Toyo tires, and we've got these 3D kind of tail lights. Although they are not separate elements, they are just molded into the metal itself, or at least seems to be the case. They're not clear or anything like that, it's just kind of painted straight away. And then of course we jump into this colossal rear wing. So typically the Countaches didn't really have rear wings until you got the Walter Wolf edition, and that had this extra wing which was not provided by Lamborghini theoretically, so it was actually bolted on afterwards, and that had a really interesting like V kind of shape. But of course Liberty Walk's gone with extremely straight one, and you can see I was actually feeling this, it's actually got quite a bit of play in it. So you can see how flexible it is. Obviously it's just supported by this little plastic, and you can see that we do have a little bit of play in this wing area, so I don't want to be too crazy with it, so you got to be a little bit careful, but it's a kind of interesting thing, and it says Liberty Walk in massive letters. And then we've got this kind of really beautiful outlet, once again very similar to the 25th anniversary. And then we've got this crazy intake on the roof as well, just to channel a whole bunch of air to cool off this colossal 5.2 liter V12 naturally aspirated Lamborghini engine. And of course, heading into the other side, it's pretty much the same as the first side, so not too much difference or anything like that I can show. So let's check out the interior. So from this front window, you can already see how geometric and squared off everything looks. Of course, it's very typical 80s Italian supercar styling, and I really love this kind of like hexagon shape that the front window has. It's a really awesome feature of the Countach. It's very cool. And then you can see that we do have some bucket seats in there, and they do have like split lines running through and quite a lot of bolstering in there as well, and they even have holes in the top section as well. So let's try and get a little bit of a look at the dials or anything like that. Not really too much to be seen, to be honest. It seems very dark in there, and I can't really tell if there's any kind of Lamborghini logo or dials at all, but great modeling nonetheless, and so far I'm loving this Countach. And now you can check the car out spinning around on the turntable here. You can see how beautiful all the angles of this car look. It's so awesome that it's got this really sharp, boxy kind of feel, and of course the Countach is such a classic. And of course this Liberty Walk variant has done a seriously cool job. You've got this very awesome classic 80s feel and this very like wedgy kind of shape and really sharp looking kind of surfaces. And of course with this crazy wide body that's accentuated the car, it gives it this massive stance. And of course this really clean looking number 41 livery. It just looks like super mean, and I think it's a really fun mix of this like old school Lamborghini and of course this like modern tuner style. And of course the black and white color scheme also really works. As you know, I'm a huge fan of contrast, and I think they've really nailed it with this. And I'm also happy that MiniGT's put so many little details on this car. So the fact that they've got the writing on the wheels as well as the centers on the rims themselves, I think it really helps to give it a lot more depth into the car as well. And I think they've really nailed the look of this car. And of course I'm going to be waiting to see when the Miura is released, because the real life Miura actually has some MiniGT stickers on it as well, so I'm really looking forward to that one. So anyways, let me know if you guys will be grabbing one of these Countachs and what you think about this, and have you got it yet? So let me know down in the comments, and if you're interested to see more unboxings and cool model reviews in 1/64 and 1/18 scale, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Ciao.